Statins are HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors used to treat hypercholesterolemia and hyperlipidemia. In patients with high cholesterol levels, statins also have a proven survival benefit, meaning that they protect against mortality due to coronary heart disease and atherosclerosis. We'll go over all you need to know about statins at our Independence Day cookout. Mind you, it's not just any cookout, but a sky-high cookout. You see, when you live in a New York high-rise, the only place you can have a cookout is up on the roof. And check out the great view of the Statue of Liberty. By the way, the statue happens to be our symbol for statins. Statue for statins, get it? Statins are a class of drugs that inhibit the enzyme HMG-CoA reductase. They're called statins because their names all end in statin. I'm talking about drugs like lovastatin, pravastatin, simvastatin, rosuvastatin, and atorvastatin. Don't worry about all the prefixes, just focus on the statin at the end. Got that? Let's move on to talk about how these statin drugs actually work. There's no better way to celebrate Independence Day than an all-American hamburger cookout. The hamburgers are fresh off the grill. Let's grab one before we talk about how statins work. Just how a hamburger should be. By the way, hamburger should remind you of HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, which describes how statins work. Get it? Since HMG stands for hamburger, right? Actually, HMG-CoA stands for hydroxymethylglutaryl-CoA. That's quite the mouthful, and honestly, kind of pointless to memorize. Instead, you should just remember the abbreviation, HMG-CoA. Statins work by blocking the enzyme HMG-CoA reductase. This liver enzyme catalyzes the rate-limiting step of cholesterol synthesis. By inhibiting this enzyme, statins suppress the production of cholesterol in the liver. The liver does still need a basal amount of cholesterol to function, so in order to make up for decreased cholesterol synthesis, the liver increases LDL uptake from blood via the LDL receptors. The end effect is reduced LDL levels in the blood. We'll discuss this more next, over a bowl of chili. Or not. Looks like someone just dropped the chili ladle. Looks like our guy got a cramp climbing the stairs to this rooftop and dropped the ladle in his pain. Which reminds me, this falling ladle is our symbol for decreased LDL levels caused by statins. You know, since ladle is our recurring symbol for LDL, this falling ladle represents a fall in LDL levels. Recall how LDL stands for low-density lipoprotein, commonly referred to as bad cholesterol, because high LDL levels can cause heart disease and atherosclerosis. Statins lower LDL levels using the mechanism we talked about earlier. Making LDL levels fall like this ladle is the primary therapeutic effect of statins, but it's worth noting that statins have other benefits as well. Namely, statins can lower triglyceride levels and increase HDL, or good cholesterol levels. Given these effects, it makes sense that statins are used to treat hyperlipidemia and hypercholesterolemia, and their effects in improving lipid profiles in blood actually confer a survival benefit by preventing coronary artery disease and stroke. Now that we've covered the beneficial effects of statins, it's time to discuss the adverse effects. For our first, take a look at that guy with the leg cramp. He's clearly in a lot of pain. If you live in NYC, you might know that many buildings don't have elevators, so this guy probably had to climb the stairs all the way up to this rooftop, causing the cramp. This guy's leg cramp should help you remember myopathy as a side effect of the statins. Myopathy refers to a disorder of skeletal muscles, which includes muscle weakness, tenderness, and breakdown. Clinically, patients will present with muscle pains, just like this guy is experiencing here. The mechanism of injury is complicated, but it is thought that HMG-CoA reductase may be important for energy and mitochondrial function in muscle. In any case, the risk of myopathy is only increased or compounded when statins are taken alongside other lipid-lowering drugs like fibrates or niacin. Myopathy is probably the single most testable side effect about statins, so remember it well for test day. For our last adverse effect, just follow the scent. Nothing beats the smell of steak on the grill. The grill master is still hard at work grilling up a rather large, liver-shaped steak. You see the resemblance, don't you? This liver-shaped steak is our symbol for hepatotoxicity. Since statins work in the liver, it makes sense that this disturbance of cholesterol processing in the liver can cause liver damage. Just remember the liver-shaped steak for hepatotoxicity. Alright, I'm ready for seconds, but first, let's recap. The statins are a class of drugs that include lovastatin, pravastatin, simvastatin, atorvastatin, and rosuvastatin. These drugs function by inhibiting the enzyme HMG-CoA reductase, blocking cholesterol synthesis in the liver. In response, the liver increases uptake of LDL cholesterol from the blood, decreasing circulating levels of LDL. Statins can also lower triglyceride levels and increase HDL levels. This improvement of the lipid profile is extremely useful in the treatment of hypercholesterolemia and hyperlipidemia, where statins confer a survival benefit by preventing stroke and heart disease. Lastly, the side effects of taking statins include myopathy and hepatotoxicity. That's it. Enjoy the cookout, and I'll see you in the next one.